On behalf of Les Tager, Kingswood Oxford School Sport Chair, and myself, I want to welcome you to the 2010-2011 school year. This marks the official and formal beginning of the school year. The 8th graders went off to Camp Venona in the beginning of the week, so this is really the first time all of us are able to gather in one space. I consider these communal events very, very important because it's only so often that all of us get a chance to be together, grade 6 to grade 12, all the faculty, all the staff. So it's an important time because we may be in two different divisions, middle school and upper school, but we are one school, we are one vibrant nation, and it's very important that we take a look around. Last year we introduced Kingswood Oxford School's mission statement. And I want to reiterate it, and I want all of you to memorize it because it's very, very important. Mr. Monroe, at the brief opening assembly the other day, he spoke about our core values. He spoke about respect. He spoke about how we can be good community members. Kingswood Oxford School inspires students to excel and to lead lives of integrity and involvement by nourishing their talents in a community of teachers, friends, and family. It's a very simple statement. It's a very powerful statement. And I know that if you pay close attention to the statement, if you pay close attention to our core values, and if you think about what Vincit Quise Vincit, our Latin motto, one conquers by conquering herself, what that really means, I know we'll have a safe and good and wonderful year.
It's a real great pleasure for me to be here at Kingswood after 28 years since I graduated, and seeing not just all the students here. You have 6th grade students, which is something different from when I was here, but also the faculty and friends. I see Lynn Short there. I'm looking for Dr. Thoreau. I hope she's here. There she is. You heard when I was introduced, the first sentence referred to political science, and that's because of Dr. Thoreau. I saw Rob Keif earlier standing over there, and Lud Baldwin, Scott Dunbar, folks who had a tremendous influence on my life. And there are a number of faculty who are not here, former faculty who also were tremendously influential in the choices I made in my career and what I ended up doing. Folks like Stu Lindsay and Morgan Shipway and Hat Thompson and Monica Eaton. You probably don't know these names. Some of them you may know, but these were great faculty at Kingswood. I graduated here in 1982. My father went to Kingswood for 6 years. I went for 6 years. My older brother went for 6 years. My 2 younger sisters went for 6 years. And I still remember going into the middle school and the old gym, that big arch, playing lacrosse on the fields. I saw Mr. Cayley, I think, up there somewhere. I remember him teaching us down there. Mr. Duke's science labs, the first dances, and waiting for Stairway to Heaven to come on the dance. And I'm sure that's still the same thing now at lower school dances. And then becoming an upperclassman, coming up to the upper school and thinking about, feeling so big and so small at the same time. Big because we're up here and not down there, but looking out at the senior green and being so intimidated and thinking I'm never going to be able to walk on that green. So after I graduated from college in 86, I had spent a semester in France. I wanted to kind of go see the world. I wanted to do it not in Europe. I wanted to be more adventuresome. And I decided I wanted to go work in refugee camps, Cambodian refugee camps in Thailand. And I had done some research on it during school. A friend of mine lived in Thailand. He said it was a great place. Come on over. And so I bought a one-way ticket to Thailand just out of college and went to the United Nations offices in Bangkok that were responsible for these camps on the Thai-Cambodian border. These were refugees from the Khmer Rouge era. And I said, hey, I'd really like to work in your camps, and I don't care what I do. I'll carry bags of rice, I'll dig ditches, anything. And they said, well, we have 300,000 refugees with nothing to do, so they can carry bags of rice and dig ditches. So what can you do to help them? Are you an engineer? Are you a nurse? Are you a teacher? Are you a doctor? Like, no, I just know political science. And that was maybe the only time it wasn't very helpful to me in my life. They weren't interested. And I really wanted to work in the human rights field in those camps. And I went down to the border and I talked to the people down there, and it just seemed like such a cool place to work. All these interesting people driving around in UN pickup trucks and having a great time at night. And I just kept on going back to the door of the office on the border and in Bangkok and saying, I really want to work. I'll do anything, really. Political science, and I was running out of money. 3 months went by. They really had shown little interest. But then, for various reasons, they decided to create a second human rights officer position. And they offered me the job. And of course, I grabbed it, and I had 2 of the best years of my life working in those refugee camps, making great friends, trying to make a difference, helping people. And the reason I was able to have that opportunity, an opportunity which then influenced everything else that came in my life, was because of one of KO's core values of perseverance. I could have very easily given up after 1 month, after 2 months, headed home, back to Boston, but I really wanted to do that. So I kept at it, and I think they saw that perseverance, and it paid off. And it really did influence everything that came after that in my life. And after 2 years, the White House asked me to go work there in the National Security Council. And there's no better place to work in the world than the White House, and I was very privileged to have the chance to work there for 3 years on a range of United Nations issues, Security Council issues, peacekeeping issues, crises in Africa and in Asia, in East Timor and Sierra Leone. And our government has a lot of really smart, dedicated, competent people working for us every day, and it's a real privilege to be able to work for our country. And I don't think anything can match the 3 years of experience I had at the White House working for first President Clinton and later President Bush. There are kids right now being born in villages in India or Sri Lanka or Congo or Guinea-Bissau who are just as smart as all of you are, the kids who are being born in West Hartford now. And if they were given the opportunity, they could grow up and change their world, become a prime minister, become a principal of a school, become a transformational teacher, invent some miracle-saving or life-saving drug. But they won't be given the chance, most of those kids, the vast majority of them. They'll grow up poor and hungry and uneducated, maybe really, really smart, but uneducated, and they'll spend their life in their village. I've traveled to a lot of those villages, and whenever I go to one, usually there's one kid who stands out, and I can just tell, it's like some 12-year-old girl or something, and I can just think, oh my God, if only this girl were at Kingswood.